99X. This is the Morning X. It's Barnes and Leslie. And every once in a while, Fram, you don't realize all in this big city of Atlanta, which is like doubled since 99X started. Literally doubled.
I can believe that, yeah.
How many talented people are circulating around? And we've got one to introduce you to. His name is Simon Holland. It's someone you should know. One of the funniest guys on the internet. And you may not know his name yet, but you will know some of the memes that he has launched out from his home here in Atlanta. One of the funniest ones I've seen recently was, hard to believe that tomorrow is already January 45th. And that thing got like 500,000 likes and more beyond in different channels. So someone you should know, his name is Simon. Welcome to the Morning X, Simon Holland.
Hey, thanks so much. It's a thrill to be on. Appreciate you guys.
So you grew up here in Atlanta, or did you move here recently, or what?
No, I'm one of the few. I'm homegrown. I grew up in Marietta.
Oh, wow.
I live out in Cherokee County now, so I'm one of those OTP guys that still says he's from the Atlanta area. I've been here, I guess, my whole life, so Atlanta is definitely home.
So, Simon, for those that don't follow Simon, it's Simon C. Holland on Instagram. You talk about everything, which is funny, from marriage, like being a parent, being middle-aged. What made you start this? Like, how did this all unfold?
Yeah, so I've been doing it for a long time. I mean, over a decade, really, of putting jokes out on the internet. It started, if you can turn back the clock a little bit, there used to be a time when people had these things called blogs, and they kind of died out. But so I started a blog. My wife suggested it as a good creative outlet because I had always, I'd kind of been the class clown and liked to make people laugh and things like that. And I wasn't feeling creatively fulfilled at my 9-to-5 job. So I started writing a blog, and then I started trying to promote the blog on Twitter, and realized that really boiling down and reducing that whole blog post into, 100 words or 15 words or whatever was fun. Probably people liked it more, and it gave the same kind of dopamine hit of, some approval. And then it just kind of went from there. And I've been putting stuff out there for a while, but I will say that 2020, there were a lot of eyes on screens. There were a lot of people at home looking at their phones and things like that. And things snowballed a little bit, and there was some exponential growth, I guess, in terms of followers and things like that.
We're talking to someone you should know. His name is Simon Holland, who's got, how many followers do you have? Up in the million range?
Instagram's the biggest. Instagram's got about 730,000, but probably with Twitter or X and Facebook, it's definitely over 1 million combined with all this platforms.
That's insanity. And you're originally from here. Did you know of 99X? Did you ever listen to the station?
Man, this was my jam growing up.
Oh, was it? Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Very
absolutely.
Cool. Well,
absolutely.
How do you, some of the examples, here are some of the ones that he's put out, Simon's put out. One, and they're all, like you said, so quick. I want my 13-year-old to understand how important honesty is, but also know that she is 12 when kids eat for free. Like, I mean, it's the stuff that we all think. Here's another funny one. My daughters are fighting nonstop this summer. Parents with sons. My boys tore off our garage door yesterday and painted 1/5 of our house orange. I mean, it's just everyday relatable stuff. How do you monetize something like that? Or do you?
I do a little bit. I will tell you that was never really the goal. And so I've tried to maybe not stay true to that, because I will sell out in a minute if somebody wants to back up the Brinks truck, right?
But that's nice of you to say, but that's when it really is a perfect storm, when you're not doing it for the money, you're doing it because you love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had some great opportunities. I've gotten to do, for me, it's more about try to get big enough and recognizable enough that somebody real comes along and wants to do something. So I've had cool partnerships with Nike and Lowe's Home Improvement. I did a cool thing with Jameson Whiskey. So I've been able to monetize it some, but I don't want my feed to turn into, just ad after ad after ad for dumb stuff trying to get people to buy it.
We get that. So what would happen if somebody, from a television show came to you and said, hey, we want to hire you as a staff writer? Is that something that would interest you?
It's a possibility. I mean, I've got a regular 9-to-5 job with health insurance and a family and all of those kind of things. So this isn't my full source of income. I tried stand-up comedy a little bit, and ultimately, while it was phenomenal, I mean, that's my first love, but it's just hard to raise kids and live 300 days of the year on the road out of a Honda hatchback or something like that. So, but yeah, I mean, being a staff writer on a show would be incredible.
But being, it's a nice side hustle. It's someone you should know. We're talking to Simon Holland, who lives where now in Cherokee County?
Cherokee County, that's right.
Where exactly are you?
My kids we're in the Etowah district.
Got it.
Woodstock, Ackworth, right there.
And he writes, and how do people follow you on the different accounts? Because people, if you're not following him, if you're not following Simon, you will want to, because it'll put like a nice pop in your step when you come across something that he's written. I love it because it just grabs your mind for a second and doesn't let go, and it's so funny. So list off your socials. Which ones is, where's the most prominent?
Yeah, so it's at Simon C. Holland, and that's kind of across the board.
Okay,
Instagram is the biggest. X or Twitter is where I started, and really, if you look at the memes, I do it in the most lazy way possible, right? I literally just screenshot the tweets and put them on Instagram.
Love
but
it.
It's worked, and it's got my name on everything. And, I guess once upon a time, back when memes first kind of took off, I noticed a lot of my jokes out there where they would crop my name out or make it, or put their name on it or whatever.
Not cool.
So I just started, taking that screen capture that it's at least got my picture and my name on it. And
smart.
Most of the time people keep it that way. And so yeah, I appreciate the follows. It's awesome when people tell me that, they saw a joke online, they really resonated with them.
A lot of people share your stuff on TikTok, by the way. I wanted to ask what celebrities have, commented or shared any of your posts.
There have been a handful. Probably the biggest, Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard.
Nice.
Both follow me, and for a while they were sharing things. Personally, for me, a personal highlight, Tiffany Amber Thiessen follows me,
Whoa.
and we've actually had a couple of chats about some things. So, I'm 45 years old, so that's Saved by the Bell. Right in my wheelhouse of adolescence. So that's been quite a thrill.
Good stuff. Well, it's great to meet you, man. You're doing great stuff, and I love meeting these creative Morning X listeners, which back in the day was so much harder to find because we didn't have that thing called social media as much to really find people like you. And for you to have an outlet, you have your real job, but you have this really fun thing on the side. So thanks for coming on with us.
Well, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. It was a personal thrill for me, and you guys have a great rest of the morning.
Thank you.
When you're bored, you can write for us, because heaven knows
we need it.
Yeah, we need it. All right,
Congrats, Simon.
Thanks, Simon. Simon Holland, someone you should know from Atlanta. Pretty funny dude. This is 99X.